You don't give your body a tool to fix whatever the damaged cell or repairing it. And of course, it multiply. It multiply the damaged cell that you have. And that's what it's all about. So so our DNA, it know how to duplicate. But if you give it a good thing, it would duplicate a good thing. If you gave it a bad thing, it would duplicate the bad thing.
Well, here we are again with Colette Lay, the founder of Lay New Spa in North Carolina. Colette, you talked about how getting a good balanced diet, which you kind of mentioned, protein and carbs and fat, but the good one, and the intermittent fasting and getting the supplements and all that. You said if you give this to the body will also create hormones. I don't know which ones, growth hormones, or actually you said it will regenerate, I think you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, stem cells or cells. So shed some light, because I mean, if that can be done, I think that's phenomenal, right? Because we start losing that stuff. We start not generating it and only killing it as we get slightly older. So tell us how we can achieve that.
Well, our cell regenerate and repair all the time. People don't think about it, but our liver and our kidney is the two main function. That's very important function in our body. Our liver, the key job is, detoxing and get the waste out and get the nutrient into the bloodstream. Our liver can repair itself every 3 years, right? So let's say you totally damage the liver, it could repair it in 3 years.
Wow.
So that's what happened is, a lot of time our liver can be 70% damaged and we not even know, because it keep repairing and repairing it until it gets to 71, 72%. That's what you see the problem start.
I see.
So same thing with cancer cell. People thinking cancer, we get cancer, that's the end of it. No. Every cell in our body is repaired. If we eat healthily, we treat our cell well, all the cell repair. Cancer cell is a damaged cell. Its tumor is a damaged cell. So if we go in and repairing it to a good cell, our DNA job is duplicate cell. The more good cell you have, the more it's duplicate. Okay. So if you're looking at, two different perspectives, I'm from Asia, right? So that's why I learn a lot about Eastern medicine and natural medicine. So that's why, my purpose in life is I'm going to empower people to know more about natural medicine, because I think we have the best of both worlds. We have the Western medicine, which has all the technology. If you are in trouble, it will help you. But why are we wait until we have problems when we can eat healthily to maintain it? If you think about it, when the way that we treat cancer right now. So if we have damaged cell, cancer cell, we do chemotherapy. So what chemotherapy does, it's go in and kill both damaged cell and good cell. It doesn't know, just kill it. And of course, and you see people say after the chemo, they are cancer free, but 7, 8 years later, it come back. And I'll give you the good example. If you have ants come into your house, right? You spray and the ants, it die, it's gone. But a couple of days later, you see ant coming back because you don't fix it as the root cause of it. You're only fixing the outside.
With ants, there's probably some sugar somewhere laying around, and they will just come back. And from what little I know about this whole health thing, with cancer, it's the same. There is somehow too much sugar somewhere around, and the cancer thrives on it. It's like almost like ants. No?
Yes, exactly. You don't give your body a tool to fix whatever the damaged cell or repairing it. And of course, it multiply. It multiply the damaged cell that you have. And that's what it's all about. So, so our DNA, it know how to duplicate. But if you give it a good thing, it would duplicate a good thing. If you gave it a bad thing, it would duplicate the bad thing. That's all it does.
So what I'm hearing here is you give the body fat, the protein, and the carbs in good relation. You make sure that those things are as good as possible, not the way you eat them. You give the body extra and derived from natural sources, vitamins or supplements or minerals or whatever it may be, so that what is not in it anymore, it used to be, but it's not anymore, that the body gets it. You give the body the rest it needs. It's almost like we cannot work 24 hours a day because we go relatively soon, a little bit, something that will not go right.
Right.
Be it happiness because we would like to do other things, no
Mm.
matter how much we like our work, etc. And I see that with my clients and doctors all the time. They love what they do, but when they get 40, 50 years old and notice that they actually only went 3 times for 1 week in vacation and they would like to do something else, that something else may also be work, but some other work, but they can't because they're locked in the one, they get a little unhappy. Money all
Right.
of a sudden plays no more role even if they have it. So
Right.
the body needs a rest. And you say, give it 16 to 18 or some hours every day, rest if you can, and
Mhm.
eat those 5, 7, 8 hours time frames a couple times and whatever. Obviously, the good food, which we just said. So if you do that, what you're saying is that is enough for the body to say, I will duplicate the good stuff, the good cells,
Right.
and not the bad ones.
Right.
Because the bad ones can't survive on the good stuff because the bad ones feed on the bad shit. They feed on the sugar, they feed on the extra dirt which is there, just like the ants and just like the cockroaches and whatever. If the house is super clean, you have very little of that stuff. If it's not, then the mice, the roaches, and whatever, they will come in and try to eat it. And if it's not there, they go, oh, nothing to eat here. I go home.
I'll go home.
Somewhere
Right. I go
else.
somewhere else. Yes.
Now, that is what you say is exactly with the cancer cells also happening. They say, well, wait a minute, this stuff I don't like. I can't grow with it. Because I have heard that the cancer cells eat 3 to 5 times as much certain foods
Oh,
than
yeah.
or even more. The number may be wrong, but drastically more. And if you don't give it to it, they just die out.
Exactly. Yep.
And then we don't have to take the machine gun anymore with chemotherapy and hope that we shoot the bad guys first and still a few good guys are living.
Exactly. Yep. That's right. Yeah.
This is phenomenal. This is really, and that really works actually.
It's really what? Yeah. If you follow it, it's really what it's simple. That's one thing that, if you try to make it too difficult, nobody will be able to follow. But this is only 2 rule of thumbs: intermittent fasting, cheat day, eat good food.
And good supplement.
Right. Good supplement. There's another thing about good supplement. It's also good supplement produce nitric oxide. So nitric oxide is a laughing gas, right? So when you're young, we produce 100% of nitric oxide. But when you're getting older, you produce less and less, right? So I'm 65 right now. That means I'm only produce about 15% of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide turn everything into oxygen, right? So without it, this part of aging, right? God creating it, so eventually we don't have oxygen and we die, and we go home with God. But we want to age gracefully, right? So the best thing is just live healthily until the day you die. Without nitric oxide, your vein and your artery get clogged, right? So that basically, that just like a plumbing thing get clogged, right? So that means your blood cannot flow very well. When your blood cannot flow, what happen? Your heart has to pump faster to make it flow. So that's why people has high blood pressure. Eventually, your heart get enlarged. That's why people has heart attack. But if it clogs so much, blood cannot even go through it. That's mean it's not going up to your brain. That's why you have stroke, right? We don't, when people have stroke, you laying in bed, it's hard on your body, it's hard for your loved one.
So are you saying taking vitamins will help with,
Right.
of course, the other things? Eat good basic food, eat vitamin because not everything is in it. That's just how it was. Maybe 60 years ago, that was not so needed, but today it's more needed. And do intermittent fasting and give your body sometimes some, hey, today you can do what you want within
Right.
small reasons, but more or less go and cheat, go and eat your ice cream, go and do what the heck you want.
Right. And Eastern medicine, we use a lot of different herbs, and some plant would help you more producing hemoglobin, help with your immune system. So all those that will help you.
Yeah, we'll get into those type of things exactly much more, because obviously we people out there will need that, because only saying eat good vitamins, again, most people think that one multivitamin which has everything in it and costs like $9 for a whole month will do the trick. I assume, at least me, I'm taking vitamins for 40 years now. Well, not really. I met my wife 37 years ago, took her 7 years to get it. So 30 years. And trust me, a $7 bottle of vitamins a month doesn't do the trick.
Well, there's so many different type of vitamin. We'll get in on the next session, but yeah,
Thank you very much again, Mrs. Lay. Thank you very much.
thank you. We'll see you again.